Hello there guys, and welcome to my watercolor workshop. This is the first video of my new channel, and what I should probably start off with is the basics, the things that I use every single day when I watercolor. I like to paint pictures of pretty girls. I love colorful and somewhat abstract, not necessarily quote-unquote realistic, but obviously I want them to look like what they are, but colorful and watercolory, I guess. So I'm just going to show you a few things that I've painted recently so that you can have a general idea of the style that I like, the things that I'll be making videos on, things that you can expect from my channel. And so I just want to introduce myself, and hopefully you'll come back and subscribe and watch my videos. I've learned how to do basically everything that I've learned so far in the about a year that I've been watercoloring from YouTube, and so this is just me putting my videos out there, hopefully helping people that are just starting. I have a lot of different products and different brushes and paints that I plan on doing reviews and tutorials on, so if that's something you're interested in, then I hope to see you come back. So I love to use the Arches smooth watercolor paper. It's rather pricey, so I don't use it for everything. I probably won't be using it for the reviews that I do, but either way, it's awesome paper, and it is pricey, but definitely worth it. The easel that I use is by Dalinger and Rowney. I believe it's called the Sphere. And the reason for that is because of the way that it operates. And on the bottom, you can see hopefully, there's this ball that's between these two bars, and you tighten it with this little handle right here. The way that it works is it has different settings for the size of paper, and it did come with screws for the back or tightener thingies for the back of the screws. I took that off and just put these clips because I'm impatient and I didn't want to have to unscrew it every time I wanted to move it. So the settings are, for the long ways, you can cut it in half, or split it in half if your paper is not as long. You can also do it in portrait, and then you take these out and put the paper holders in these holes right here. But what I really like is how fast and easy it is to adjust the way that you're painting. You can be level if you need to be level. You can turn your paper upside down if you want the drips to go in a different direction, or to the right or the left. It just is so versatile, and it's actually a good easel for really, I would think, even acrylic or oil painting too. It's not necessarily just for watercolor, but mixed media, all kinds of stuff. I actually wore out the screw. I stripped the screw on the one that my husband got me for Christmas, and we're into March. So this is actually my second easel because we returned it and got a new one. So yeah, I use it a lot, and I absolutely would recommend it to anybody. The way that I like to what I like to use for my water is this, let's see, it's called Freshwater Rinsewell, and you're able to, let me just adjust you a little bit. You're able to rinse the dirty water, well, flush it, and it spills fresh water in there, and it's really cool. I also use just a regular dish to clean my brush, and then this is the water that I use to add to my paints. And rather than having to go back and forth and empty out my water dishes to get fresh water, this is so much more convenient. I absolutely love it. I also use one of these to add water to my paint so that I can add more than just a brush full at a time if that's what I need. This easel back here is actually what I use to put my reference photo or what I'm painting, so that I can see pretty easily what I'm gonna paint. To wipe my brush off, this is what I use, is a roll of toilet paper emptied out with the thing in the middle is pulled out, and then I wrap it with some Viva towels. Originally I was just using the Viva towels like that, but it's actually a lot more convenient to use this. So either way, it's up to you, but I do recommend the Viva towels, especially if you use it to like blot off water from your painting so that it doesn't leave any kind of design behind it. When it comes to my palette, I use a Wherever baking sheet. And it's brand new, so it's never been cooked on or anything like that. But the watercolor, I mean, it works perfect. So yeah, I didn't invest in any kind of really expensive watercolor palette or anything like that. You know, this is what I use, and it's big and it works perfectly. What I picked up at Goodwill was a one of the, I don't remember what this is called, but it's got the different compartments. It's for food, and it's a really heavy plastic, and I've used this too if I'm making larger washes and I need the colors to stay separate. This works really, really well. One other thing, I bought this at, I think, the dollar store, and this is just a cheap plastic one. So it's kind of a backup if I have something going on in the other one. So what I did was I put actually paint on the outside and was just using that. So not a bad little investment there for $1. When it comes to my drawing and erasing tools, what I was using is a mechanical pencil, but I was having a really hard time with the amount of lead that was being left on the pictures, and so I would use my kneaded eraser to you know, lighten the lines. So I went to Blick and talked to someone that worked there, and what he gave me was a 9H to do my original sketches on for my watercolor. And to be honest with you, this thing, I wish I had it a year ago. You know, maybe that's just common sense to other people. For me, I'd seen so many people using the mechanical pencil for their sketching when it came to watercolor that it just was something I thought I was supposed to use. But come to find out, the harder the lead, the better off you are when you don't want it to leave too much pencil marks behind. So just a little FYI. Good little eraser that I got, and something that I can't go without is this little pencil eraser. These are so useful. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend that. So when it comes to my just overall basic setup, that's really what it boils down to. I don't have a huge area to work in. I do have a somewhat of a studio or whatever you might want to call it, but it's definitely not big. So I'm working on a tabletop, and that's why the easel that I have works for me really, really well. If you have any questions, leave them. This is the first of many videos, I hope, and thanks for watching.